If you're going to be teaching summer school, here's what you need to know. Hi, I'm a music teacher, and this is my life. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the tips that I think will be most helpful for those of you who will be teaching summer school this year. I have taught summer school for the last several years in a variety of different contexts, in person, online, both for credit for the first time and credit recovery. And so I know that summer school can look very different for all of us, depending on the program that we're in, the city or country where you live and work. It depends on the grade levels and the subjects, but these tips are meant to be universal. I tend to give examples from a high school teaching perspective, since that is what I do most of the time, but I hope that these tips are helpful to as many people out there as possible. But before we start, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so that you never miss another video. Tip number 1 is if you've accepted a summer school job and no one from that admin team has reached out to you since you accepted, definitely reach out to them so that you know what's going on. The reason why I say this is the first time that I taught summer school, I actually applied for the job and was told that I did not get it, but they encouraged me to apply the following year. So I said, okay, no problem, thanks for letting me know. And then a few weeks later, they said, hey, we actually have this extra class of civics and careers and we need a teacher. Are you still available? And I said, absolutely, I would love to do that. But what I didn't realize was that I was being left out of a lot of the communications because, as it turned out, after they hired me, they forgot to add me to their email list. And so all of the other teachers knew when all of the deadlines were, when all of the staff meetings were, how quickly the program moved, and I was just blissfully unaware. And needless to say, my first summer school session had some stress and some tears. So if you can avoid that, definitely reach out if they have not reached out to you since they hired you and also since you've accepted. Number 2 is that if you've applied for a subject that you're qualified to teach, but you've never actually taught it before, I would say start gathering resources as soon as you can. Tip number 2 is if you've applied for a subject that you're qualified to teach, but you've never actually taught it before, you should definitely start looking for resources sooner rather than later. Now, in my school board, summer school moves very quickly. Because it's only 3 weeks long, and in 3 weeks students earn a full credit or have the potential to earn a full credit, that means 1 day of summer school is about the same as a week in a regular school year. And so students and staff get all of August off, but it means that in July it's full speed ahead, and there are different resources that you can access. Definitely look online, but also see if there are any other teachers in that summer school program who have taught it before. I'm sure that they may be able to share resources with you, or if you've supply taught in a school for a little while or you're doing some LTO work, maybe ask some of those teachers if there are any resources that they can share with you. You may not be allowed to borrow, say, a whole set of class textbooks or anything, but maybe some activities or some online lessons that they can share with you would be really helpful. Tip number 3 is if you've applied for a subject that you have taught before, be prepared to make changes to your course content. So like I said, most summer school timelines are a lot faster than regular school year. I know on my board, like I said, with 1 day of summer school being the same as about a week of regular school, there were certain assignments that I knew I either had to change or remove from my full version so that it fit within the summer school timelines. Also, remember what I said in my previous video, to work smarter, not harder when it comes to marking. If you want to know what I mean by that, check out the video where I share the 7 things I wish I knew before I became a teacher, and the link to that video will be in the description box below. But trust me, this can save you lots of time, which in summer school is what you want. Tip number 4 is be prepared to use your own technology. This is something that I had to deal with before I got my first permanent position with my school board. Because once I was permanent, the school board gave me a work computer, which is a Chromebook. And so I was able to use that computer over the summer once I got that permanent position. But before that, particularly the first 2 or 3 years, they did not supply us with teacher Chromebooks because the continuing education budget and school technology and everything is completely separate from the day school. So yes, we were using buildings that they used during the rest of the school year, but we didn't have full access to their classrooms or their technology. So be prepared to have your own laptop ready to go, your own adapters for projectors, things like that. And a side tip, have your teaching slides and all of your tabs separate from your personal tabs. Because I've seen it happen where a student notices that next to the tab with Google Classroom, there's a Facebook tab or a personal email tab or just a bank tab because you use your online banking. It's just something to be aware of, so definitely have them all open in a separate window. You can avoid all of that awkwardness altogether. Tip number 5, and I mean this with love, is do not, I repeat, do not have another job at the same time as teaching summer school unless your summer school program is only part-time. And here's why. Like I say, with classes moving quickly, so do assessments and evaluations. So you are marking at a much faster pace, and marking timelines come sooner than you think. So before you know it, you'll need to be sending home a midterm progress report and then a final report card. And in the blink of an eye, summer school is over. I have tried it where I had another job and summer school at the same time. It was not fun. It was extremely difficult. And so I know that for some people it can be really hard financially, but if you're able to, say, book some time off from a part-time job, or if you're looking for part-time work, wait until after summer school is over. Do the best you can to do that, because for your own sanity and your stress levels, it's worth it. And my 6th and final tip is to pace yourself and your students. Summer school is a lot of work to do in a very short amount of time. So there's a good chance that if you're not careful, you can feel exhausted. And if you're feeling that way, chances are your students are feeling that way too, particularly if you're working in a building that's really hot because it doesn't have any air conditioning. That's a common problem. So having activities that are part of your class time but that aren't marked is a good way where you can pace yourself. Students can, and I personally think that they should, do things in class that are meaningful and have them learning, but it's not being marked because we don't want our students to only see a learning activity as valuable if it's being evaluated and on the report card. And also it gives them a safe place to make mistakes where they feel like it's not going to make or break their mark. And also having activities that are not teacher-centered. So as an example, maybe you have an in-class activity that starts with you leading the activity and giving the instructions, but then it shifts to having the students work together in groups or pairs. Maybe they work on assembling something or problem-solving something together. But that way you are not the sole focus, and you actually have the chance to step back, take a breath, relax, and also get to walk around the classroom and enjoy all of the wonderful things that you're seeing your students do. I hope you find this summer school tip guide helpful. Good luck to all of you who are teaching summer school, and if it's your first summer, I wish you a little bit of extra luck because it's tough, but I know you can do it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so that you are up to date on all of the upcoming content. Give us a follow on Instagram, and I will see you right back.